Welcome everyone to the game between the world champion Domaraju Gukesh as he makes his way to the Oslo Public Library. So many fans have come in, being a weekend. The interviewers know not to disturb Gukesh as he enters in. He doesn't like interviews being done before the games. He's playing with the black pieces against his countrymate and someone whom he knows very well, his actual teammate during the Olympiad, Domaraju Gukesh. As Gukesh fills in the score sheet there and comes before his opponent to this one. Prag and Gukesh have had some incredible battles with each other and they always play fighting chess. I think it also stems from the fact that both of them have very different styles. Gukesh is more active, more aggressive, more calculative. Prag is a little bit more intuitive. He's kind of a grinder, positional chess player. And so they fight and they both believe that they can beat each other. That's the thing that creates this kind of amazing dynamic between them. As Gukesh adjusts all his pieces, Prag enters in and Prag says, okay, all the autographs later, but I'm pretty sure that Prag will be ready for an interview. Let's hear him out.
Yeah, we went for this sailing, and then I visited Ambassador of India. So yeah, it went well. So
What about sailing? Have you had fun?
yeah, it was good. I mean, I think we had everyone had a lot of fun. Also managed to get to the speedboat and go for it, right? So yeah, it was good.
You're facing Gukesh. I assume you're friends. Is it tough to play against your countryman and perhaps your friend?
No, I think when we are playing, if I'm playing with anyone, I think I'm over the board I'm fighting, so it doesn't matter.
Best of luck.
Thank you.
And there you have Prag saying that every time he plays against any player, he comes with that same killer instinct, that same vibe that he wants to beat his opponent. And that's very, very important. Prag gets ready for the encounter. The guest of honor makes the first move, pawn to d4. Maybe Prag is a bit surprised as to how he managed to guess his first move. Maybe he plays d4, maybe something else. He takes it back. Okay. It's 2 hours for the game. Prag, as always, meditates before his encounter. Gukesh, laser sharp focus on the board. We are excited for this one. Let the games begin. Yeah, the clock has already started. Let's go. What's Prag's first move going to be? Now it started. Okay, we had a little bit of, we went in the future and came back. Pawn to d4. Prag pushes forward. And Gukesh goes knight to f6. We have pawn to c4 played. And Gukesh usually plays his pawn to e6. That has been a constant and that's what he does. This setup, which is now becoming so much played like in these last few events, including candidates and Grand Chess Tour, the Queen's Gambit decline setup, and everyone's opting for knight c3. I think it is giving chances to both sides to play for a win. Knight to c3, and Gukesh can play his favorite opening, the Ragozin. He plays it bishop to b4, pinning the knight. And Praggnanandhaa has many options here. He goes for the queen a4 check option, which is quite popular, attacking the bishop. And then the knight can jump in, defending the bishop, breaking the pin. Queen comes back to c2, improving the position of the queen. And this is slightly lesser played because the main move has been e3, castles and queen c2. So the fact that he's come back queen c2 directly, he goes bishop d6. It meant that if black had castled, maybe he was opting for the move bishop g5. It's possible that Prag had prepared that. But Gukesh, after a long 24-minute think, plays bishop d6. And I think Prag is a little bit out of his preparation here, which is what Gukesh wanted. So the bishop comes to g5. Another way to play here was pawn to c5. and also CD, ED and bishop g5. These are few options here, but he went bishop g5, pawn to h6, attacking the bishop. Now bishop can go back, but then there'll be g5, g4, and the d4 pawn would be under pressure. So he takes on f6. And what Gukesh already has seen is that if you try to win material with c takes d5, there's knight b4 attacking the queen and then taking back the pawn. So e3 played by Pragg, getting his bishop out. And these are the kinds of positions that Pragg really enjoys, where, you know, it's simple piece play for him. I think he has a kind of a risk-free edge. Pawn to c5 played. A little bit committal there. Of course, you don't want to play a move like bishop d3 because of knight b4. So a3 did make sense. But c5, bishop e7. And now Pragg goes bishop to b5 straight away. His point is he wants to take on c6 and put his knight on e5 and play f4, clamp it down. So bishop comes to d7, trying to defend the knight, castles. And yeah, this is the very cool thing about this position, is that even though white has really nice space and clamp on the position, it's not easy to break through for white. And when you can't break through immediately, it means that black's position, if it has potential, it will show through. So here g6 by Gukesh, and that's a very interesting move because he may want to go bishop f8 to g7, reroute the bishop there. He may also want to play his queen back and maybe try for f6 e5. That's also a possibility. a3 played by Pragg. He's trying to now go b4, a6 by Gukesh. You have a choice between keeping the bishop or taking on c6. He takes it. It's a very clarifying move. Pragg just says that I believe in my position. I believe the fact that I have better pieces. I'm going to put my knight on e5 now. And here we see the benefit of rook coming to d8. The bishop can drop back to the e8 square. That's what he does. Bishop e8 brings the bishop back, and Pragg can now go f4. He does it. So completely clamping on the dark squares. We spoke about this potential that black has. And that potential is firstly trying to fight back for the space on the queen side and the bishop pair, and also the fact that on the king side can go f6, g5, and the bishop can pop out on this diagonal. So these are some of the possibilities. Pragg playing on the queen side here with rook fb1. I'm actually curious how this game will shape up. Queen to g7 played. So the idea now is to push the knight away with f6, queen e2, and rook d b8, bringing the rook here, posting the rooks on the a and b file, and Pragg starts getting active. He goes pawn to e4. In some senses, when your opponent has the bishop pair, you don't want to open up the position, but on the other hand, because white has such an amazing knight, it does make sense. Now knight e4 taken, and do you want to push through with f6 now? He goes rook a7. Okay, quite a tricky move. Like, what is the rook doing on a7? Maybe Gukesh wants to double on the a file. That could be his idea. We have queen to e3. The queen calmly looks here. Could be some point d5 and boom, something could happen tactically. Queen goes to f8. Now that's a bad move because now b5 is very strong. Will Praggnanandhaa find it? Because it does. No, he goes king h2. The point of b5 was that if b takes c5, you have a4 and you have excellent compensation. It's a very, very tricky pawn sacrifice. King h7. And now, shall we go b5? Once again, actually, b5 played because now b takes c5. If you take d takes c5, then b5 is hanging. He does play it, and Gukesh goes a4, c6 played. Wow! Now these two pawns are so strong, they are actually limiting the bishops. But on the other hand, Gukesh feels that this bishop is open, while the other bishop has possibilities on the other side. So that's, I think, why he's so fine in this position. I mean, at least psychologically, he feels okay. f6 played. Black looks cramped, but there's potential. Knight c4. Pragg is playing brilliant positional chess. What an amazing game between these two youngsters. Bishop to f7. He's eyeing the pawn push to e5 and to attack the knight. The queen comes back to e2, defending the knight on c4. So no e5 immediately. Queen g8, doubling and like kind of having this double power on the diagonal. He goes rook c1, defends it, but look at the pawn. It's a bit loose. The knight is the only one defending it. Rook a8 improves his position of the rook. It's basically the calm before the storm. Every piece is being properly positioned. Rook d2. And somewhere e5 will come. He goes rook e8, lining up the rook against the queen, threatening e5. Knight comes back to c3. And now pawn to e5. Boom! He goes for it. And maybe Pragg has d5 on his mind. I think that makes sense, because otherwise he would lose a piece. He plays it, but isn't he losing a pawn here? E takes f4, Gukesh takes it. Look at the time. Pragg has only 5 minutes. Gukesh has 13 minutes. They are on move 33. Queen goes to f2. Attacking here, but also somewhere looking to sacrifice material. g5 played. And is Pragg going to sack a knight? Oh, he takes it. Knight takes b6. Brilliante takes here. And now d6, he's winning. Pragg is winning the game. Pawn to d6 with 4 minutes on the clock. Look at these two pawns. They are insanely strong. Bishop f8. And Gukesh, go c7. Go d7. Everything is actually very powerful. These two pawns are so good. How is Gukesh going to even recover from this position? No, he goes queen b6. It's a bit risky. But now Gukesh can create his play. He goes on the king side. g4 is what he does. And he takes, that's a huge blunder. Because queen g5 is a winning move here, attacking this way. Queen takes g4, also not bad. Gukesh thinks here, he has 3 minutes. Pragg has 2 minutes 26 seconds. Why did Pragg take here? Queen takes g4. Queen comes back to f2. Maybe a better move was king g1. Gukesh looks up. 1 second increment per move is kicking in from next one. It's move 39. Pawn to f3 may be possible, because then you have something. Oh, rook e3 played. This is not the best move. Pawn to f3 was much better, just opening up the position. But rook e3, c7, need to push the pawn. That's important. Keep that pawn closer to the queening square. But he goes rook d4. And now, well, things have 10-second increment per move will begin, but that's just rapid play. You know, bishop takes d6 is a move that can be played to get the other rook into the game. No, he goes queen e5. That's a decent move. But can we take queen f4? No, he plays queen d2. He wants to keep this alive. The threat to be alive. But now f3. Gukesh goes in. Pawn to f3. 51 seconds to Gukesh. 47 for Pragg. c7 is the only move. He goes king f2, and that's a blunder. That is a blunder, because bishop d6 is a killer blow that Gukesh has now. Has Pragg missed it? Gukesh, boom, takes it with just 9 seconds. Rook takes d6, but the point of this play was to get the final piece into the attack, and Pragg's king is toasted. G takes f3, but rook takes f3 is over. He takes it, king takes, bishop h5, and queen g3. It's a checkmate coming in, and look at Gukesh there. He knows that was an insane game, and Praggnanandhaa, well, he played so well throughout, but in the end it was Gukesh who managed to make the most of his chances. You can see that look of a guy who looks satisfied with the way he's played. Prag is unhappy. You could sense that he was almost coming close to victory, but in the end, the time pressure spares no one. As Prag leaves, we will leave you with the moments where Gukesh goes out and interacts with the fans, with the interviewers, and so on. An insane game between these two youngsters. I truly enjoy whenever they sit across the table, because more than anything else, they just love playing exciting chess.
Here at Norway Chess 2026, Gukesh, firstly congratulations, good game today. How do you analyze your game today playing against Praggnanandhaa?
Yeah, it was a very complex game with a crazy ending. Yeah, I'm still trying to recover from the game, but yeah, it was always complex, and I thought it was very double-edged. He should have been slightly better, but always had long-term potential. And then I think he missed e5, and then it got just extremely complex. I have no clue about the evaluation, but it was very low on time. So it was pretty tricky.
But Gukesh, you've obviously been playing against Prag, and you both are, of course, representing India as well. Does it get easier because you know him, or does it get harder because you know him?
I think at the top, pretty much everybody has a decent clue about each other because they've played a lot. They've spent a lot of time together, so I don't think it's very different.
And Gukesh, you're of course the reigning world champion. You don't need any confidence in life, but when we talk about wins like this, does that help you?
Yeah, I mean, everybody needs some confidence, especially how the last few tournaments are going. So, yeah, I mean, this game was pretty crazy, so I'm just relieved, right?
I think we just needed your birthday to happen.
Yeah, I needed to drive a boat. Yeah.
Thank you, Gukesh, and looking forward to speaking to you again. Thank you so much.
Gukesh, congratulations on the victory. Please share with us how did the game go. First, we saw that you were surprised in the opening.
Yeah, this Queen C2, I had kind of seen it before, but I couldn't remember anything about the board. But yeah, I played Bishop D6, which luckily got him out of prep as well. I thought he had to go CD, D, Bishop G5 with a slight edge maybe, but what he did was also interesting, and yeah, what can I say, just a very complex game.
And at the very end, both of you were very low on the clock. Tell us what happened those last moments when you were attacking his king.
Yeah, it was maybe a bit easier for me because I just needed to throw everything at his king, and there were so many tricks that I got super nervous at the end, but luckily the tricks kind of worked out for me. But I mean, even after he blundered e5, I felt like he kept finding these knight b6 resources, which was so tricky. I have no clue about the evaluation, but yeah, I'm just happy that I managed to get through.
And final question I have, how did you spend your rest day, also birthday at the same time?
I did a lot of fun things. We went for a boat ride. I got to drive the speedboat. And I rested a bit, prepared a bit. Nothing special, yeah.
And it worked out. Congratulations one more time and best of luck for tomorrow.
To the side.